Hey, what's up, guys? You know what today is? It's mid-June, and it's food plot day, baby. Let's take a look at what we got going on. All right, folks, before we get into exactly what we're going to be doing today and the equipment we're going to be using, I want to kind of call out what this video is all about. So, obviously, we're going to be planting food plots. Now, over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been experimenting with different ways to plant food plots, specifically with the idea of getting away from any sort of tillage or chemicals, herbicides, and things like that. And the easiest way to do that is to buy very expensive equipment. You know, you get your big crimpers, you get your no-till seed drills, which they start at like 10 grand and go up from there. And there was really no in between. It's like you either got to do this kind of half-ass and manually, or you got to buy the expensive equipment or rent it or whatever. And I was this close to buying a no-till seed drill, and I was like, you know what? There's got to be an in between, right? Because I'm just not spending enough time planting food plots to justify that type of cost, right? I could spend 10, 20 grand on something else that I'm gonna get more use out of. And for the amount of food plots I plant, which is a couple every year, then it just didn't make sense. I was like, there's got to be something in there in between. And there wasn't, right? I was looking at, you know, the seed jabbers, the rolling seed planters and things like that, and they don't work for no-till. I've done broadcasting. That works pretty good, but you got to work the soil up. So I tried lots of different methods to get it to work. Now, I was able to get it to work without using herbicide, which is nice, but I still had to do a lot of tillage. And, you know, getting out there on the tractor and working up the soil with the disc, that's fun. But I want the health of my soil to really thrive too. So my goal has been, let's find a cost-effective way to do these food plots without tilling and without herbicides. And guess what? I found a way to do it for less than 2 grand. For equipment. Let me show you what I got. All right, so any of you who've watched my videos in the past, you've already seen this piece of equipment. This is a Cultipacker crimper combo from PackerMaxx. So you got the crimper right here, and then you got this Cultipacker. You fill this thing up with water. It ends up weighing, I think it was like 400 pounds or something like that. You could fill it up with sand. You could use it as a Cultipacker. But if you want to use the crimper, right, if you got a nice cover crop out there that you're going to crimp over and then drill your seed into, you flip this thing over so all the weight is on top of this, and then you just pull it with an ATV. You don't need a tractor for this. Now, this thing works great. I've been using it for a couple years. It's from PackerMaxx in Michigan, and I think it was like $1,400 bucks. Talk about a cost-effective crimper. You don't need a tractor for it. It's got the weight. When you flip that sucker over, it's a combo deal, so you get a Cultipacker with it, but the crimper is really what I was after, and you could pull it with an ATV. So this has been the most cost-effective, awesome piece of equipment I found for crimping for a no-till application. Hands down, the best. You can see this thing's dirty. I've beat the shit out of it over the last couple years. It works fantastic. If you're crimping stuff like buckwheat, rye, whatever, that's the way to go, okay? Now, what I'm really excited to show you is the next piece of equipment. Finding something that you could do a no-till seed drill type application that's cost effective. And I found it. It took me a lot of searching, right? It took me it took me a couple years to find this piece of equipment. So let me show you what it is. All right, folks, here she is. Fancy looking piece of equipment. Now this is the Haraka Planter by Eden Equipment. Let me tell you about this piece of equipment. This is a rolling jab planter style piece of equipment, but this is specifically designed for no-till application. That's right, you do not have to work the soil, you don't have to till the soil in order to use this piece of equipment. It's heavy duty. This thing weighs a lot. It's got its seed container there. It comes with seed plates for different size seeds. Now the jabs, they're covered up here. But you can see a pretty heavy duty piece of equipment releases your seed. And this gets down into that sod. Like I said, you don't have to have the soil worked up ahead of time. No tilling required. And that's unique because there are a lot of rolling type planters out there, but none of them are designed for no-till. All of the ones I looked at, and I even tested some, I bought some cheap ones and I broke them trying to do it. They just don't work. This is designed for it. Now, the one issue with this piece of equipment is it's not readily available in the US. It's used all across Africa on small farms. They're using it to plant upwards of 5-acre farms, right? You can plant your corn, your soybeans, things like that. But farms over there, they're not using those big, crimpers and seed drills that are, 30 grand with tractors, right? They're doing this stuff manually. Now, obviously, this is a manual pushing style planter, but the beauty of this thing is it's great for food plots. If you're planting a 1/4 acre, a 1/2 acre, or even like a 1 acre, 2 acre size food plot, you can get it done pretty quickly with this thing. It's obviously manual. You got to get out there and push it. But this thing only was $550, I think I paid for it, $500. And so you can get your crimper from PackerMaxx for like $1,300-$1,400, and I'm not associated with them or anything, but I love this piece of equipment. I bought it years ago. It's been working great. And then you can get your Haraka Planter for $500, less than $2 grand, and you could be doing no-till, no herbicide food plots, right? If that's what you're interested in. The problem with the Haraka Planter is that it's not readily available in the US. When I first found it, I saw that it's made in Africa, and I reached out to them and they said they don't have any distributors in the US, and for them to ship it to me would cost just as much as the planter. It'd be like $1,000, $500 for the planter, $500 to ship it. So I was like, well, let's hold off on that. And they said they are looking for US distributors. So about 6 months after that, they reached out to me and said, hey, we have a US distributor. They picked up, a handful of these things just to test them out in the market. And they sent me the company name. I can't remember off the top of my head, down in Tennessee. I'll put it in the description notes. Again, I'm not associated with them either, but I reached out to them right away and I said, hey, do you guys still have these Haraka planters? And they said, yeah, we do. We've sold a few, but we still have a couple. And so I was like, I want to get one. So the shipping was only $50 instead of $500. So yeah, $550 for that planter, no-till seed drill planter, designed for no-till, and it's heavy duty. That thing's heavy, and you could even put additional weight on it. And we're going to be using that today. And then $1,400, whatever this crimper was from PackerMaxx. So that's the most cost-effective combination of equipment I've found where I think it's going to work really well. I haven't used the planter at all. I'm pretty sure it's going to work well just because of how heavy duty it is. It's going to get the seed down in the ground where we need it. And we're going to be planting corn and soybeans today. So we're going to see how it goes. Now, as far as what we're doing today, I'm going to start what I call the hidden field, the hidden plot. It's about a little over a 1/2 acre. We're going to be doing a row of HD screening blend from Northwood's whitetails. It's basically Egyptian wheatgrass. And we're going to be doing a large swath of that in a row. And so I'm going to start by doing some mowing right where we're going to plant that. There's a lot of weeds. But then the rest of the field's actually rye and clover that's grown up really well. And we could crimp that, and we'll be using the planter to put in corn and soybean there. So we're going to test out the Egyptian wheatgrass seed in that thing today, and we're going to test out corn and soybeans in it today. See how it goes. If you're looking for a cost-effective way to do it for these small food plots, because you don't want to spend 20 grand on a seed drill, I think this is going to be the ticket. So let's kick it off and see how it goes. All right, guys, so here's the hidden field where we're going to be doing corn and soybean in here. Now I'll be able to crimp this because this is mostly rye, and there's a couple different clovers growing in there. Now we're going to be doing Egyptian wheatgrass along this edge here. I'm going to try to get it nice and wide, maybe about close to 10 yards wide. That way we got a nice screen here. We can come around behind this tree line and get in a stand we have down there without anything seeing us that might be bedded off the point or even in the food plot. Now this is just weeds mostly. There's a little bit of rye in there. So I'm just gonna mow the section where we're gonna drill the Egyptian wheatgrass, the HD screening blend, and we'll test out the Haraka Planter. So let's go and get some mowing in, baby. Woo, I love that old Ford tractor. All right, so we're gonna see how that Haraka Planter works. I got my seed. We're gonna throw that in the Polaris, head on back there, and we're gonna give the old Haraka Planter a go and see how she does. All right, we are headed back to the hidden plot, baby. Come on, drill some seed. All right, so here's the seed we're using. This is Northwoods Food Plot Screen HD. I just call it Egyptian wheatgrass, but it is a blend. I've used it for the last 2 years. Works fantastic. Grows nice and tall and thick. I've really been pleased with it. And here are the seed plates for the Haraka Planter. You can see all the different sizes. So obviously the smallest one here will work good. So we're gonna go ahead with that and get it installed and get to drilling, baby. All right, so we are rolling it on out. Pretty easy operation. So this is kind of the transport mode. I think we're gonna start, see right where I mowed? I'm gonna start right in here. So from here you flip it and boom, you are now ready to plant. All right, so I did about a 20-yard swath and I'm already excited about it. So it's like I'm pushing it, it's operating, but I can't see any seed, you know? So I'm like, is it even doing it? But let me show you, it's definitely doing what it's supposed to do. All right, so here we go. I stopped right here, just kind of leaned it on its side. And I wanna show you, here's one of the spots where it came through. If I dig down, you can see the seed in there. Look at that. Yeah, baby. So it jabs with the sharp point. Look at that, perfect depth. And then pushes the soil over top of it after it goes through. And so we're just gonna keep going. It's doing its thing, so let's keep at it. This is awesome. So this thing's working good. I went all the way down to the end of the field. There was a couple spots down there where it was a real thick layer of grass that I just mowed. And I thought, man, I don't know if it's punching through that. Checked it. Yep, the seed's there. It's in the ground. So it's doing its thing. It's working the way it's supposed to. There's plenty of seed left, so it's not doing too much seed. I could see the opening there on this pass I've just made. I could see the seed there, so it's not clogging. Pretty easy to turn too once you get used to it. So I've been doing up and down rows, but then I started zigzagging, right? We don't need them in perfect rows. We want to break up those straight lines. So I'm going to do some here, finish off. We're getting a little bit lower on the seed, but really nice even seed distribution I've noticed. And man, I've been trying to find something wrong with it and I haven't been able to. This soil's pretty tough. It's got clay in it. It's puncturing right through that drop in the seed. I keep checking. It's doing really good. There's only been a few times where I've seen seed like on the top. Usually that's from going too fast, or it's not getting a good puncture. Some of the soil's a little rocky and stuff, but I mean, 99% of the seeds going into the hole, so it's going well, guys. We are all done, folks. All right, guys. She did the job. I'm very impressed with this piece of equipment. All right, like I said, guys, I'm impressed with this Haraka planter. This thing is awesome. Is it time consuming? Yep. Is it hard to do? Not at all. Because of the weight of this thing, it's easy to push and the momentum just keeps it going. I didn't have it pop up at all from hitting soil that was too hard or anything like that. It's a heavy duty piece of equipment. It's easy to push. In fact, when I first found this thing online, the company's promotional material had this, like, she must have been 75 years old pushing one of these in a farm field. So very easy to push, not a lot of manual labor. It's time consuming, right? Because you're manually doing it, but hey, we could all use a little exercise. So this thing, if you're looking for a cost-effective seed planter, especially a no-till application, this is the way to go, man. $500 is well worth it instead of, you know, spending 10, 20 grand on a no-till drill. Even if you're going to be using herbicide and stuff like that, this thing will still work great. You could do a no-till application using, like, Jeff Sturgis has his whole ultimate no-till, I think it's called. I used it in the past. It works good. Where he's not using a crimper, but he is using herbicide. He's not preparing the soil by tillage. And this thing would work really good for that too. So anyway, regardless of what your plan is, if you're just looking for a good piece of equipment, get a little bit of exercise, then this thing's pretty awesome. You know what I did? I mean, I did about 100-yard swath here that's about 10 yards wide. And it really didn't take that long. I mean, I don't know how long I've been out here, maybe a half hour to do that. So we're gonna be doing this whole field next. We're gonna be doing corn and soybeans. So we're gonna crimp this, and then we're gonna get to work with the planter doing corn and soybeans. We'll put a different seed plate in. And I actually have, so I got this one. I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 or 4 more of these food plots I'm gonna do with corn and soybeans that are all from anywhere from about a 1/4 acre up to a 1/2 acre. And we're gonna use this for all of them. I do have one more spot where I'm gonna do some more of the screening, but the rest of it will just be the corn and soybeans. So let's go ahead and grab the crimper, the PackerMaxx. We're gonna fill it up with water and then get that out here to start crimping the rye and clover over. All right, folks, we are filling up the PackerMaxx. So once that thing gets full, she's gonna be real heavy like. So we'll pull that out to the hidden plot where we'll flip this all the way over so the crimper's on the bottom, and that weight will give it plenty of weight to crimp over all the rye and buckwheat and clover we got. So we'll get her filled up. We'll get on that. And then flip it over. So it takes a little bit of muscle to get it over, but it's not too bad. There she goes. You can see right there how it crimps. All right, she's in the crimping mode. So you can see all that weight, that 400 pounds there, it's a 50-gallon drum filled with water. So we're talking around 400 pounds. Just give you a good little peek there. There's the crimper. So you got all that weight on top of that crimper. We're gonna go ahead and crimp this whole field here. Now let's go ahead and take a little walk out here. Just want to show you what we're working with. So this rye has been growing for a couple years now. It's a perennial, so it comes right back every year. Shoots up in the spring, grows really well, continues to grow through the fall. The deer love this, the turkey love this. But you also see in here, we got clover. Lots of clover in there. There's 4 different types of clover actually growing in here. Just take a little walk in here. There's clover there, right? There's just clover all throughout here. So this has been providing good nutrition all spring and summer. And now we're getting in towards, it's mid-June right now. So it's a perfect time to go ahead and just crimp this all down and get our fall food plot. So more specifically, I'm planting a high oil corn, and it's also, the seed is blended with soybean seed. So that soybean will shoot up, corn will shoot up. We'll have some food and forage for the rest of the summer. But the idea is to get that corn standing and carrying us through the fall, especially up through the rut, right? October, November, and even into the late season. So that's if the deer don't annihilate it early on. I planted some corn last year. By broadcasting, I didn't get a lot of good seed soil contact. And as soon as that stuff started growing, the deer were annihilating it. So I know they have some issues with the neighbor's property trying to grow corn because there's just so many deer. So we'll see how it goes. I'm doing, 4 of these all together. So maybe with the 4, we'll get some good growth in our food plots. If not, whatever, we'll still have fun anyway, right? I know you could do put a wire around this, electrical wire, and try to keep them out, but I'm not going to get into all that. I like to try to just keep it natural, get the seed in the ground. If it grows good, it grows good. If it doesn't, whatever. Like I said, we're still going to have fun. So always experimenting. This year it's experimenting with the Haraka Planter, which seemed to work really well. So we're going to go ahead and crimp this and then see how it does with the corn and soybean seed. So let's get to crimping, baby. Well, it is a beautiful day. We might have some rain rolling in later today. It's not too hot. It is muggy. I am sweaty, but it's in the 70s. We got a nice breeze, and we're going to top it off with a beautiful Camacho cigar, baby. So let's go ahead and get this sucker lit, and we're going to start to crimp, baby. Got to have your stogie when you're planting food plots. All right, guys, you can see how that's crimping really nice there. So we'll come through and drill right through that. But anyway, one other thing I forgot to mention is that I actually got out before I started crimping, and I did a little walk around. There's a lot of deer beds in here, just to make sure there's no fawns laying around. We've seen some fawns already running around, but I just want to show you some of the deer beds in here. There's a nice big deer bed there. Another one there. One over here. So there's all sorts of deer beds in here. Another one right here. So it is perfect fawning cover. Like I said, we've seen some fawns running around already. And I actually walked through here with my little ones the other day, just zigzagging through. I was showing them what deer beds were. They're pretty excited to, they're 3 years old now, so they're starting to understand things a lot better. And my little girl, she started pointing out deer beds as she saw them, because I kind of explained how you see the grass laying down. That's probably a deer bed. So she started running around pointing, going, deer bed, deer bed. So we didn't see any fawns, so I'm just doing a quick double check here. I got a helper. Well, we are done crimping. Right when we finished crimping, we actually had a storm roll through, got a downpour. So that's good. We just got the screening seed in the ground. So took a little break, ate some lunch, but let me show you what we're working with here and how it turned out. Alrighty, there she is. Crimped down real nice like. I'll give you a close-up view here. All right. All right, guys, so here's the corn soybean blend that I'm going to be using from Buckhead Wildlife. This is high oil corn. This was actually recommended by Tony LaPratt, so I was going to give it a try this year. It's 70% soybeans, 30% corn, I believe. So we're going to switch out the seed plate, put a larger seed plate, fill her up, and get to drilling, baby. Well, ain't that purty? All right, so I'm just checking the seed plates here. Yeah, it looks like a good size there. We'll go with that one there. Whew, all right, so it's starting to rain a little more, which is fine. It's actually cooling down quite a bit. I need to do a refill. Just give you a little update. I did, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 passes, making good progress. So using the soybeans and the corn, I'd say 90-95% of the seeds making it down, no problem, into the hole being created by those points. I am seeing a little more seed kind of pop up near the surface. It tends to be the soybean seeds that I noticed. And I think that's because the seed plate's a little larger. It's big enough for the corn, but you know, a couple soybean seeds could slip through a single hole. So I think every hole is getting seed in it, but there's some additional seed that's kind of popping out. But overall, very pleased. Again, impressed with this thing. I'd say 90-95% of that seed's getting down through the crimped material into the holes being created by the planter. So when I first started, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna take forever. But I've already done 3 or 4 passes in the last 15 minutes. So I'm actually making really good progress. So we're only gonna be using half of that bag because that bag's got enough for about 1 acre. This is just over a half acre. And the section we're planting is probably about a half acre exactly. So I'm gonna refill and just keep on at it. It's raining, baby. We're gonna keep on drilling though. Manual seed drilling. Yeah, baby, no till, seed drill. Woo! Rain feels good though, it was hot. Let's keep doing it, baby. All right, guys, we got some serious storms rolling in. Look at the clouds. So I'm almost done. I got about half that bag on this plot. I've only been out here an hour. It seems like it was a little bit longer because it's such a manual process, but it's really only been an hour. So I thought I'd finish this video before it starts to thunder and lightning and downpour. Leaves are getting blown around. I could hear some thunder coming. Feels great though, it's nice and cool. I just got a little bit more to do, maybe another 10-15 minutes. Hopefully, if the weather doesn't start getting crazy on me, I'll just keep going until I got this finished. But it's going really well. I was just going to give you a quick rundown. This thing's mobile. You could take it anywhere, no problem. If you got food plots in the middle of nowhere and you want to get your seed, especially bigger seeds like corn, soybean, things like that, you need to drill them down and get to the proper depth. Easy to use. My hands got a little numb a couple times just from pushing. It's not hard to push, but just the rattling around and just holding on. But I would just take a quick break, refill, take a drink of water, and then back at it. So it's easy to do. It is time consuming because it's a manual process, but if you like to get a little bit of a workout, I mean, it's just, you're just walking. It's a slow pace. This would be a great way to do it. It's easy to do. It's penetrating through this crimped material pretty easy, and it's going really well. So I highly recommend this. For the price at $500 and maybe another $50 for shipping, assuming the distributor still has them here in the US, you can't beat this thing. If you're going to get into like really big food plots, like 1, 2, 3 acre food plots, it's going to be time consuming, but they do it in Africa. They use these things on small farms up to 5 acres. They're using these Haraka planters. So you just got to have some patience, but it'll do the job for sure. Well, I think these little plots, you know, 1/4 acre, half acre, 3/4 acre, no problem. You can knock it out in a few hours. So I do have a couple more plots I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be doing them today. It's going to be dark here in a couple hours, and we got these storms rolling in. But this plot, the hidden plot, is pretty much finished up here. I'm going to spend another 10-15 minutes. I'm going to end the video now. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll keep you updated on how the plot does, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.